want to proudly bring on a young man who's making his mark, who's gone through a lot of things, who has a testimony. As of now, I want to introduce Gwalla of Gwalla Music. Welcome, my brother.
Yo, what's going on, King? How you feeling today, baby?
Oh, brother, I'm feeling blessed, man. When I was talking to my partner and co-producer, Miss Simone Higabana, Rebirth podcast and media, she brought you to me, and I read your bio. I was like, hold up. I said, my man is going through it.
Yes, sir.
He's still putting in work, and I just started getting more into it. And I said, okay, he's a performing artist. He's a fashion designer. He has his own publication company. He's also a published author. But I don't want to go too deep in your bio because I was excited when I read it, and I just started, bonding with you, just going through your testimony. Can you give the listeners a little bit about you, my brother?
Definitely, man. Well, my name is Gwalla, man. Government name Clifford. You know what I mean? Clifford Evans. And I was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana, downtown, Ninth Ward, the heart of the streets. You know what I mean? I came up under a family, you know what I'm saying, Christian family, and they actually, you know what I mean, laid me in the right path when I didn't even notice it back then. You know what I'm saying? So I learned a lot. I had a lot of lessons and had a lot of shortcomings because I always wanted to be myself and be a big speaker. But in the twine of that, God placed me in a situation where I was associated with the wrong people at the wrong place and at the wrong time. And all of those things that was negative only gave me fuel on my fire, you feel me? So I was in a mindset of being relentless, you know what I mean? And that made my struggle even harder because sometimes when you get knocked down, you know what I'm saying, and you get back up, it come back at you to knock you down a couple of times. So just growing up in New Orleans, man, I was affiliated with a lot of legends, you know what I mean? I'm talking about Kango Slim, Misdemeanor, Fila Phil, and just so many others, you know what I mean? Gregory D and UNLV, and, it just had me a passion to want to become, you know what I mean, the desire I had in my heart of being an artist, man. And on that path, I had a lot of situations as far as in and out of jail, as far as everybody turning their back on me, and I just kept on rising to the top, man. And today we made it a long way, you know what I mean? So
that's real talk. That's real testimony, man. Before we go into your bio and just what you have done and gone through, can you tell us about, when people hear about New Orleans, I know there's different sections. What sections were you from that were just really hard that you had to learn from, brother?
Man, my people are from the St. Bernard Project. That's downtown, right? And that is a project that's not like what other people call projects across the country. This is the only other place they have projects that resemble this as far as the struggle is New York. You know what I mean? We have real projects, 2-3 stories high, bricks, you know what I mean? It's straight corrupting and criminal activity on a daily 24/7. You know what I mean? So I come up in that project, and as a kid, I watched them literally playing cowboys and Indians, like in the project playing games, shooting at each other. So we moved from there, and we moved to the Ninth Ward, which has street sections in it, Press Park, Desire, and the Florida Project. And it was one of the murder capitals within the murder capital in New Orleans, Louisiana. So that was an environment that I grew up in, and being alone, no brothers, only sisters, in an environment of that nature.
I can relate to you, brother, on that. I have family that grew up in Tilden Projects in Brooklyn. I got family over there. So I definitely can relate to that. Also, before they knocked down the projects over here in North Brick City, Jersey, we had Prince Street projects where you're talking about 20 floors up.
Yeah.
Whereas you got, I'm talking about real projects where it's, you're going through the hallways, you're walking up through steps. You don't know what's happening. You get robbed either on the steps or you get robbed on that elevator.
What?
So, I can relate to that, brother. God brought me a long way too, brother, without me putting all my dirt out there.
Yeah, that's why I said it, because the only difference in that situation is, up top it goes straight up in the sky like 20 floors, but in the south it's all flat line. You know what I mean? So it's definitely like that. It's just like when you walking through it, just like when you walking up the stairs, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Like you, man, I grew up with a spiritual foundation family, and you said something I know some listeners can relate to, that people, maybe the older people, was trying to give the foundation of spirituality and trying to give the blueprint of, hey, listen, this is what you need to do. But, you know, that peer pressure in the environment, did it make it hard for you to try to find balance, or it wasn't just that I wanted to kind of roll with the street? It was a cool thing to do. Let me roll with the hood. I mean, you went through a lot, brother. I mean, how did you eventually find that balance?
I was forced to find a balance. You know, with me growing up, like I said, in a neighborhood where everybody had brothers, everybody had cousins, everybody had this and that, everybody had fathers. I had none of the above. You know, that was with me. You know what I mean? So I always searched for. You know, I wanted to be down with the hood. I wanted to be down with the fellas. But with me being anointed in a certain way, I'm saying that because I'm mature. But I didn't know it back then. But by me being anointed and me being who I was, I stuck out like a sore thumb. And I was good and great at the things that I did. So it actually came with a lot of resentment. You know what I mean? And it was just hard for me. It's like in that hood, I had to fight everybody. You know what I'm saying? And it was at a point where I didn't know I could fight. You know what I mean? So I got tired of getting my butt whipped, and then I started whipping everybody. It's like, okay. You know, it was crazy.
Yeah, you learned. You had to put that work in, brother. It was crazy. And it's crazy you're saying you had to fight everybody, but you grew up in that hood. Why is it like that? You know, was it more of a testing thing? I mean, you grew up in the same hood, but you want to fight. Was it more jealousy, or people recognizing that you're different, or you not, how you say, a follower, want to follow behind them? You know, which one was it?
It was basically all of the above.